What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Paul Duke here, back on your screens with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over Wrestlemania Night 1 Saturday, Wrestlemania Saturday. And boy, let me tell you, when I say this was a really good, I think we might have match of the year from this Wrestlemania. Not the Stone Cold match, but that was still a really good match, and I will get into that in this video. Let's start off with the very first match. Also kind of disappointing. It was Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus the Usos, the Bloodline. And, well, let's just say that match was pretty sad because Rick Boogs actually, I don't know if he was actually injured before because in that match he had with Jey Uso to get them to that match at WrestleMania, he was faking the injury. But I'm guessing he may have been really injured, and he's injured right now. But we'll probably see him again, and next time we see him, he won't be wrestling, I'm sure. But it was still a good match. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. I'm gonna actually rate these matches, by the way. That was a pretty good match. The next match of the night was, I think it was Rey and Dominic versus Miz and Logan Paul. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was a good match, but I hated it in so many different ways. It was a good match, but I hated it in so many different ways. Excuse me. Actually, at the very end, I guess I didn't see the tag. I thought Logan Paul was legal man, but I guess not. And, you know, one thing I will say is I did not expect Logan Paul to actually be a decent wrestler. But, I really wish the Mysterios would have won this. It was honestly disappointing. I think this was also Dominic Mysterio's first WrestleMania match. And if it was, I really feel like WWE is burying Rey and his son. I really, truly feel that they're being buried right now. And it's really upsetting because you've got two talented wrestlers that aren't, you know, being given the spotlight. They should have a really good match. And that match was not the worst of the night, but also wasn't the best of the night. I will say that match is like 7.5. It was pretty good. Now I want to see The Miz versus Logan Paul. That's all I got to say. Okay, next up. Shoot. You know what? Give me a second. Alright, guys, I did accidentally mix up a match. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin was actually the second match of the night. Let me tell you, this was a great match, actually. This is not the best match of the night again either, but the end of days is now officially not a protected move. Drew McIntyre, I don't know how I got this. So, one of my moves that I give myself in wrestling game, and I use in DSW is the end of days. I've changed the name, by the way. And it's funny because I was just using my figures, and I had myself hit that move, and Drew McIntyre, the only one who kicked out of it for me. It's funny how WWE has that. I never even recorded it. I've just done it because I've got figures, and that's one of the things I do because it keeps me from dying of boredom. And I've only had really Drew McIntyre kick out of it. I cannot believe WWE actually did that. When I saw the end of days, I was like, oh god, no, it's over. And then when I saw Drew kick out, I was like, they actually finally did it. They finally had someone kick out of it. I thought that was pretty cool. And, yeah, I will give Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin probably a 7 out of 10. Not the best, not the worst, but it was still a heck of a good match. Next was Becky versus Bianca, and this was a really good match as well. I really enjoyed it. No, not because it's a women's match. Get your mind out of the gutter. I enjoyed it because these matches actually go to show, women's matches actually go to show that women can do the same thing men can do, if not better. And, well, they took it to the limit in this match. And Bianca defeated Becky, which I could see it coming because it's basically her SummerSlam retribution, because at SummerSlam she got defeated in, what was it, 13 or 17 seconds? I can't remember. It was somewhere around there. Which that match at SummerSlam was awful. I like how they had a return, but she shouldn't have returned and beat her in 13 seconds. They should at least, if they were gonna have a short match, it should have at least been 2 to 5 minutes long. That's what I consider an extremely short squash match. But this match was really good. Becky tried to win just with the manhandle slam again. Just goes to show it's not going to work a second time. I give that match an 8 out of 10. Really good match. Probably one of the best matches. Probably just one of the best matches of WrestleMania Saturday. Now we get to the match that I consider the match of the year. Seth Rollins versus who? The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Yeah, you heard me right. I forgot to mention there are spoilers in this. So if you have not seen WrestleMania and you do not know this, yes, Cody Rhodes returned to WWE. And he dethroned Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And this match, I give it like an 11 out of 10. I consider this match of the year worthy. Or when WWE does their Slammy Awards, give this match the Slammy Award for best match of the year. Now, I don't know if Cody Rhodes is staying in WWE or if this was just a really one and done match, but it was a really great way to bring Cody Rhodes back into the company. I give it an 11. I give it 11 out of 10. It was awesome. It was a dream match. Actually, we're getting 3 dream matches, or at least in my opinion, and that would be this match. We got Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens, which I consider a dream match. And then we also got Edge and AJ Styles tomorrow night for WrestleMania Sunday. There's three dream matches we're getting. Or 2 of them we already got. But yeah, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, 11 out of 10. That was a hell of a match. Next up, we're going to go over the final 2 matches first. Charlotte and Ronda. That was a pretty good match, I will say. Except for the incident that happened in that match. I'm not going to go into further detail. If you want to know, look it up yourself if you're that kind of person. But anyways, it was a pretty good match. I honestly really thought Ronda would have won the match. I felt like she should have. But with that whole thing with the ref getting knocked down, you know, at that point I was like, yeah. And then even though Ronda did make Charlotte tap out, there was like 2 or 3 3 spots where I thought the match was over, actually. But yeah, it was a good match overall. I give it a 7.5, almost 8 out of 10. Not the best match of the night, but it was a really good match. And then we got the final match, the main event, the KO show with Steve Austin, which, yeah, I almost thought it was only going to be a KO show. But when I saw there was like a little bit of time left, I was like, okay, this is actually going to be something. And then Kevin Owens turns around and was like, I want a no-holds-barred match. And Steve Austin delivered. And they delivered probably the second best match of the night. And I'm basically, even though Goldberg was like WCW's version of Steve Austin, even though Steve Austin wasn't WCW, but he wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin WCW. This was like Goldberg. He was like Goldberg. And he was able to go, and I was like, yes, they're actually having this. I could not believe Steve Austin could still go like that. He was in very well physical condition, and he'd probably been training for the past several months to take a suplex on the concrete floor like that. Ooh, boy. If I were 50 years old or 55 years old, I don't even know if I'd be able to take a suplex on concrete like that. I mean, at least he's alright. I give that match a 9 out of 10. And that's because Steve Austin was still able to go. And that match, I think, was over 10 minutes, too. Which is really amazing. Really, truly amazing that Steve Austin could go for one more match. And that's honestly a perfect way to wrap up WrestleMania and a perfect way to wrap up a fantabulous career, a fantastic. I don't know why I said fantastic. That's a stupid word. A fantastic career, an amazing, outstanding, overachievement. Oh, probably not overachievement, but an achievement of a career. If they were to do a Slammy Award for, I don't know, let's say best retirement match. Well, okay, not best retirement match, but they're like retirement match. Like if they give like a special one or like a special Slammy to Steve Austin for being able to do that, man. Honestly, there's like that. Honestly, is like the second or third best match, like right behind Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker in 2010 at WrestleMania, or Shawn Michaels versus Nature Boy Ric Flair. This match was amazing, and it honestly, truly was a really good way to wrap up Steve Austin's career. I hope we still get to see Steve Austin in WWE, which I'm sure we will. I'm sure he'll show up for special appearances and maybe deliver some more stunners. And if I was old enough, I really want to try Stone Cold IPA, but I can't. Or the Steve Weiser, whatever they call it, American Lager. I'm not old enough, so I can't, but I honestly wouldn't mind trying it. But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Overall, I give WrestleMania Saturday probably an 8 or a 9 out of 10. That's probably what I give the whole entire pay-per-view. Well, not the whole entire pay-per-view. Tomorrow, I will do part 2, and I'll rate every match, and then I will, give the whole entire WrestleMania rating, like the whole entire, both of them combined, and then just WrestleMania Sunday's rating. And we'll see which night beats the other. I think WrestleMania Saturday is definitely better. We got the return of Cody. We got to see Steve Austin performing his final match. And, except for a few incidences, I think this night was really good. And I hope to catch you, and hopefully you guys check in tomorrow to see my ratings and reactions, or not reactions, but ratings of the pay-per-view. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.